Hey, yeah, we're gonna do this thing where we talk about stuff to you guys, to your ears, and then you can listen and just put it on in the background and enjoy it while we talk about it.
Who's on the, dare I say, podcast today?
Yeah, it's today we have all the living members of Super Overtime.
Right. Is there forgot about Jeremy, but
is there unliving members?
Unliving ones? Well, that was I heavily implied that there might be dead ones.
Oh,
I thought we talked about this.
Anyway,
did not talk about it.
Today we're discussing the Nintendo Switch together, just talking about it because it came out this past Friday and we've been enjoying it. And how about you start us off, Dawson? What's your first impressions like?
Well, I've been playing the Zelda game quite a bit. It's had some really nice features, definitely a huge step up in the graphics. I've been really enjoying it so far. I like the new controller too, how you can like have it separate in each hand, or you can have it together in the controller thing they got there. So that's a cool feeture.
Any of you guys think that the controllers feel a bit small when you're holding them by themselves?
Definitely.
As a person with small hands, I like it. But like I'm playing it, and then like sometimes I'll be like, man, yeah, this is nice, and then I'll be like, this is actually perfect for me, and then I'm like, wait, if it's perfect for me with like miniature hands, what's it like for people with bigger hands?
Well, Taylor, what do you think about it with your big hands? With your big meaty claws.
Meaty claws. No, I kind of missed the Wiimote a little bit.
Yeah.
Because on those things, the buttons were all in reach of your fingers.
Yeah.
They were like
except for 1 and 2.
You don't hear.
We don't talk about 1 and 2.
We don't talk about 1 and 2.
Yeah, they were the button equivalent to the thing you do in the washroom with 1 and 2.
Oh boy. But yeah, it's just everything was where you needed it to be, pretty much. And what was I thinking? I forgot.
You weren't straining to get to the buttons.
Yeah, I wasn't straining to get to the buttons, but I find sometimes on the Switch controllers that, especially on the left side, because the buttons are pretty much underneath my palm.
Right.
I kind of have to like dislocate my entire left part of my hand to get where it needs to go.
True.
So it's kind of frustrating.
No, just coming off of that, when you're like saying what's frustrating, the biggest thing that I would have to say about my first impressions on the Switch is instantly when I was playing Zelda. Well, I mean, first of all, the just the console itself, the hardware, the UI, I'm all loving it, right? But then I'm playing Zelda and I'm doing something like running, and there's a thing you do called performing a clutch, where you bring your first finger over top of your thumb to press other buttons and to use the other joystick. and I do this technique when I'm playing Dark Souls, and it really helps out a lot when you're running and doing stuff, right? But you cannot clutch on the Switch because the analog stick on the right side of the controller is directly underneath the buttons. It's not over closer to the middle like every other console. So just so you guys can see, I don't know, I might take a picture of this for you guys or something, but see, I'd be holding the B button to run and I want to move the camera, so I perform a clutch. Now there, I would normally be moving my first finger here, right, which is easy. Yeah. But I move my first finger like this, and it's actually, I can pull it off, but it's tough to do that, to get that clutch going, right? and anyway, that was my biggest.
Way above my skill
that's
level.
hardcore.
Wow.
But I mean, does anybody else have anything else to say about that? Because
about that top?
Well, not the clutch in particular, but just about little complaints like that.
I really like how you can take it into a handheld and pop it in, right? And it's really quick. It's really nice and quick. You can you pop it in and then you take it out and it's like a flash on the TV. It's super quick.
Okay.
But like pressing the button to take it out is like kind of a little jank.
Yeah.
Because when you're pressing the button to get the Switch out and you're trying to push the Joy-Cons out and you're trying to put them back in, you have to like tap the L button and the right button to push them back in.
Yeah.
And while you're playing a game, it's just like, man, like I don't want to
buttons.
Press
in the game.
buttons.
Yeah.
That's a little weird, but.
Well, just to kind of cover as much as we can in the few minutes that we want to talk about this within, get a little bit of a time frame. I just want. Anyway, I'm wasting time saying all this crap. So about the UI. we're looking at the UI, and let's talk more about that. But like, just
Okay.
just how do you feel when you hear this?
Something went through me when you did that, like, doo-doo, and
Yeah.
then doo-doo, and I was just like, I honestly, like, it caught my attention that I had to stop and think about it.
Well, for me, makes me feel so good. Like,
It's nice. I like it.
I don't know why. Like, I'm here in the UI, and I'm just like, I gotta look at my profile. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh
baby.
yeah.
It kind of reminds me of either Chocobos or the save state sound in Chrono Trigger when you walk into the little flashy lights and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I do know that.
or like, you know, when you move to different options, like in the Chrono Trigger menu. I love Chrono Trigger, by the way, so whenever I can make a reference to it, I will, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, like Dawson, when you're using like all your other devices and stuff, and then you get a new thing like the Switch here, like what strikes you about like the menu here just before you even start playing a game?
It's definitely got a unique feel to it. Like, I usually play Xbox, and it's got a bit more of a kind of, like, I want to say, complex homepage. Like, this is nice,
Right.
simple, easy to use. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing. You got your shop, you got your albums, you got your controller options and all that sort of thing. So it's just nice, easy, simple to use. Whereas sometimes I find on the Xbox I'm getting lost on where I'm trying to find, that sort of thing.
There's like menus within menus.
Yeah.
Right.
Here it's pretty clear because all the little pictograms are exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
oh, shopping bag, shopping. Controller-ish looking thing, controller, obviously.
right.
And that picture, like, you know that little picture is showing you some Mario Mountains. You know that's Mario Mountains.
Without a doubt.
Oh,
In that little
I didn't
picture.
until you said it.
Dude, it's it's either that or you had a severe butt accident. and you're always ass up for the rest of your days.
That's a really big oven mitt.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, that thumb. Okay, we're just getting crazy.
Dang.
here. But you know, you're using the Switch. You got the hardware and the controller now, and we're looking at there's a screenshot button. Now, none of us have really been thinking about that because we haven't had it before.
I didn't even realize there was one.
That square thing on the left, the left Joy-Con, is a screenshot button, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I find that every time I see it, I'm like, should have used that. I should have used that like 8 times, and I forgot, right? Now,
True.
Now, there's some other things too, like the HD rumble, which we haven't really gotten to use that much. And then there's also that little camera at the bottom of the right Joy-Con.
Now that's interesting. How it can like register shapes, like you point at.
Yeah, that would be.
That's interesting.
Is that in 1-2 Switch? Do you guys know if that's in there?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I
So
don't own it, so
we definitely would have to buy 1-2 Switch to get a full feel for like the extra features on the controller. But we know they're there. We haven't really got to utilize them fully. But yeah, the only other thing that I've really noticed and thought was interesting was staring at the joysticks themselves.
Yeah.
On these tiny little controllers, I looked at how they're made, and on other controllers, you kind of see the stick hitting the edge of the little circle that it's in, right? And you can kind of hear, like on a GameCube controller, you can hear it hit every little edge as it's moving around and stuff. And these ones are really smooth, and I was just staring at like the design, and like we could put a picture up of how that works. But it looks like it's a really smooth design. It doesn't have any edges to hit, and it's got this little shield on it that gives it a really clean look. It looks like no dust or like chocolate syrup's gonna get in there. Really. I mean, you could get it in there if you wanted to, but
You have to do it on purpose.
I would
Yes.
I would probably feel a disturbance in the force if you did that on purpose.
It looks fairly easy to maintain for maintenance, keeping it clean, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been kind of talking a lot now, but so any other thoughts you guys about just the Nintendo Switch itself?
Well, I only played it the one night, and we've only been playing the one game, Breath of the Wild. So I think in order to get a more accurate
Yeah.
assessment of the machine, to probably play a couple different games to see exactly what all it can do.
Yeah.
Right.
But for now, I'm impressed by it, and this is cool. This is fun. I like this.
It's new.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it in the future and where they take it.
Well, basically, our dynamics here is I own one, Keaton owns one, Dawson hangs out with Keaton a lot, and Taylor's my bro. We live in the same house, so we kind of are sharing 2 consoles, right? And so for me and Keaton, we got to unbox it and set it up, and got to check everything out. And USB-C, that's the power source. Cool, I can buy a USB adapter that works for that and stuff. It's we got the full experience where Taylor and Dawson might not have gotten the full hands-on with it experience in the first place. But yeah, just thinking about how everything works, it's pretty awesome, simple, great. It's cool. Your friend could buy a dock and a power cable, and then you could bring your Switch over if they really wanted to. You could buy one off the shop. But I'll just tell you a little story just to close this off. When I first got it, I just set it up right away and turned it on right out of the box, and I was just using it, and I'm like, this is great. And I popped the little stand, and the screen's standing up on its own, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing. Like, why is this even happening? I'm like, I'm gonna go put it in the dock. So I take the screen, and I go to put it in the dock, and I'm like, oh, it's not really going in. What's happening? I don't understand. Like, what, is there something stuck? No, nothing's stuck in there. And I just kind of poke it a little bit, and then I hear the stand go pop, and it goes flying, and it hits the wall, and I'm like, and then I grab the stand, and I'm like, what have I done? And I just kind of put it back, and it pops back in, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's good. And then I instantly see that, I look on the little notifications, the news area on the Switch, and there was totally an article exactly about that. Like, yeah, don't do that sort of a thing. If it does happen, you're fine. It goes back in. But if you do that a ton of times, it'll get looser. And the stand won't work as good. But they sell new stands on their shop if you lose your stand and are an idiot like me. So that's how that works.
Duly noted.
Yeah, so
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
yeah, who wants to close this sucker off?
What are we closing it with? Curtains.
I don't know, man. Just go get yourself some pistachio ice cream.
But I don't like pistachio ice cream.
Then get out! It's pretty good. You know, like Spumoni from like Spaghetti Factory. That's some good ice cream.
Not gonna argue there.